Did you know Epsom salt isn't really salt, but a mineral that's been trusted for over 400 years? Yet today, many of us still overlook its powerful benefits, especially for seniors dealing with fatigue, stiff joints, or poor circulation. In this video, we'll uncover what really happens when magnesium from Epsom salt enters your body, how it can ease pain, boost relaxation, and why it deserves a spot in your daily routine. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. What exactly is Epsom salt? At first glance, Epsom salt looks like ordinary white crystals, but the truth is, it's a compound made of 3 elements: magnesium, sulfur, and oxygen. When you drop it into warm water, it dissolves into magnesium and sulfate, ions, and that's where the real magic starts. Magnesium is one of the most essential minerals in the human body. It's needed for over 300 different functions. It helps regulate the way nerves and muscles communicate, keeps energy production running smoothly, and plays a role in how your body manages stress. When levels are low, nerve signals get messy, muscles tighten up, and you feel tense, restless, and drained. Restoring balance with magnesium helps calm the system and brings your body back into a relaxed, steady state. Sulfate works in a different way. Think of it as your body's natural cleanup partner. It supports detoxification, helping the liver process and remove waste products. It also plays a role in how proteins form inside tissues, which makes it valuable for healing and repair. So when you soak in Epsom salt, magnesium calms and relaxes, while sulfate supports cleansing and recovery. Together, they create a 1-2 punch for the body. Add in the warmth of the water, which itself boosts circulation, and you've got a powerful, natural therapy. That's why scientists continue to study it, and why doctors like Dr. Mark Turner still recommend it for certain health issues. Benefit number 1. Soothing sore muscles and stiff joints. Let's start with one of the biggest challenges seniors face: chronic muscle and joint pain. It's not just about soreness. Much of that discomfort comes from inflammation. As we get older, the body produces more of the chemicals that spark swelling and fewer of the ones that calm it down. That's why problems like osteoarthritis become so common. Here's where Epsom salt steps in. Research has shown that magnesium can help reduce pain by calming down the body's pain pathways and lowering the production of inflammatory chemicals. In fact, in one clinical study from Indonesia, scientists tested a gel containing Epsom salt against a common pain relief drug. At just a 3% strength, the Epsom salt gel worked almost as well as the medication in reducing joint pain. That's pretty remarkable for something so simple. Even the Mayo Clinic acknowledges magnesium sulfate as a safe soaking solution for sore muscles, sprains, bruises, and stiff joints. When dissolved in warm water, 2 things happen at once. The heat itself improves blood flow, and the magnesium sulfate works on the swelling. Some experts debate how much magnesium truly gets absorbed through the skin. But here's the key. Even without complete certainty, countless people report real relief. Seniors who try regular soaks often say their joints feel less stiff, their muscles more relaxed, and their mobility improves. So the next time your knees ache, your back feels stiff, or you're nursing a sore bruise, don't underestimate what a simple Epsom salt soak can do. Benefit number 2. Relief from constipation. Now, let's talk about something less glamorous but incredibly common: constipation. Many seniors know how uncomfortable it can be. It's not just about struggling in the bathroom. Constipation causes bloating, heaviness, and sometimes even nausea. Lifestyle changes, like more fiber and water, are the long-term fixes, but sometimes you just need quick relief. That's where Epsom salt comes in. When mixed with water and taken orally, it acts as what doctors call an osmotic laxative. Here's how it works. The magnesium draws water into the intestines, softening the stool and making it easier to pass. The effect can happen in as little as 30 minutes or as long as 6 hours. In fact, hospitals have used magnesium sulfate for years to treat sudden constipation and even cleanse the bowel before certain medical procedures. But here's the important part. This is not meant to be a daily solution. Using it too often can cause dehydration, diarrhea, or imbalances in electrolytes, which can strain the heart and kidneys. That's why experts say oral use of Epsom salt should only happen occasionally, and ideally under medical supervision. For most people, especially seniors, Epsom salt is best kept as a backup tool, not a routine remedy. But when it's truly needed, it can be incredibly effective. Benefit number 3. Stress relief and better sleep. Sleep, it seems so simple, yet it often becomes harder with age. Many seniors describe nights of tossing and turning, waking up multiple times, or simply lying awake with racing thoughts. Magnesium plays a key role in sleep quality. It helps regulate melatonin, the hormone that signals bedtime. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and it helps muscles relax so the body can actually drift into deep rest. One clinical trial even showed that magnesium supplements improved insomnia in elderly adults. They fell asleep faster, slept longer, and woke up less often. Epsom salt baths work on the same principle. When you dissolve it in warm water, magnesium and sulfate ions are released. A soak before bed helps calm the nervous system, reduces tension, and stabilizes mood. If you've ever heard of flotation therapy, those tanks filled with water so dense with Epsom salt you can float effortlessly, that's built on the same concept. Research on flotation tanks shows they can significantly reduce stress, ease pain, and bring deep relaxation. So imagine what a simple 20-minute soak at home before bed can do. The heat improves circulation. The magnesium calms your system, and your body gets the signal that it's time to wind down. Many people report sleeping more deeply and waking up more refreshed. If restless nights have been stealing your energy, try adding an Epsom salt soak to your evening routine. It's a natural, low-cost way to restore your sleep rhythm. Benefit number 4. Gentle skin exfoliation. Now let's move to skin health. With age, skin becomes drier, rougher, and more prone to irritation. Epsom salt can help here too. Because of its texture, Epsom salt works as a natural When dissolved in water and applied with a cloth, it gently removes dead skin cells, unclogs pores and smooths rough patches. Unlike harsh chemical exfoliants, it's gentle and doesn't strip the skin. On top of that, magnesium helps regulate processes tied to inflammation and oxidative stress, the very things that drive conditions like acne, eczema, and premature aging. A study published in Scientific Reports in 2017 showed that magnesium salts improved hydration and reduced inflammation in people with skin problems. The sulfate side helps too. It draws out impurities and toxins that can irritate the skin. Used once or twice a week, Epsom salt soaks or compresses can keep your skin fresher, calmer, and more comfortable. Just remember to moisturize afterward so your skin stays hydrated. Benefit number 5. Reducing knee pain and water retention. One of the most common struggles as we get older is knee pain. Years of wear and tear, arthritis, or even standing too long can make knees ache and feel stiff. Add in swelling in the legs or ankles, what doctors call edema, the problem gets worse. The heaviness and pressure make every step harder. For generations, people have turned to one simple remedy: soaking the legs in warm water with Epsom salt. And it's not just about the feet. When you fill a bucket with warm water up to knee level and add 50 to 100 grams of Epsom salt, those healing minerals surround your calves, ankles, and knees at the same time. The warmth alone improves circulation, eases stiffness, and relaxes tissues. But there's more. Epsom salt may help draw out excess fluid through osmosis. It also calms the muscles around swollen tissues, making them feel less tight. Although more research is still being done, clinical observations show that when seniors do this regularly, stiffness decreases, swelling eases, and that heavy dragging feeling in the legs lightens. And it's not just older adults. Many younger people who sit for long hours also find relief when they use this simple ritual once or twice a week. So, if your knees feel tight or your legs feel swollen after a long day, don't underestimate a simple Epsom salt soak. It may bring the comfort your body has been missing. Benefit number 6. Naturally reducing foot odor. Foot odor may seem minor, but it can be frustrating and embarrassing. It's not just the smell itself, it's the bacteria behind it. These bacteria thrive in damp, warm environments, feeding on sweat and dead skin cells. Seniors often notice it more because circulation slows with age, and sweat control isn't as strong as it used to be. That's why odor-causing bacteria often gather between the toes or in shoe linings. Epsom salt helps by changing the environment those bacteria live in. When you dissolve about half a cup of Epsom salt in warm water and soak your feet for 10 to 20 minutes, the salt pulls out extra moisture. Less moisture means fewer hiding places for bacteria. Now, Epsom salt isn't a strong antiseptic. It doesn't wipe out all the bacteria, but it makes the skin less friendly for odor-causing germs. The real trick is what comes after: drying your feet completely, especially between the toes. Adding a light moisturizer keeps the skin healthy without locking in dampness. Combine this with simple habits like wearing breathable socks, rotating your shoes, and letting them air out, and you'll notice a big difference. For many seniors, adding an Epsom salt foot soak once or twice a week keeps shoes fresher, feet less clammy, and confidence much higher. Benefit number 7. Recovery after exercise or surgery. Think about how your body feels after a tough workout, or even after surgery. The muscles often ache, feel stiff, and sometimes swell. That's because exercise creates tiny micro tears in muscle fibers, a normal part of getting stronger. Surgery also leaves tissues inflamed as the body works to repair itself. The goal in both situations is the same: reduce unnecessary inflammation and speed up recovery. Epsom salt is a natural fit here. Magnesium has well-documented anti-inflammatory properties. In sports medicine, research shows it can reduce cramps, balance electrolytes, and help muscles recover faster. When dissolved in warm water, Epsom salt releases magnesium ions that may be absorbed through the skin. While scientists still debate exactly how much gets in, athletes and physical therapists continue recommending soaks because they combine heat with magnesium, and that combination brings relief. Warm water itself boosts circulation, flushing out lactic acid and other waste products that build up in sore muscles. Magnesium helps relax the muscles and calm spasms. For people healing from surgery, the benefits are similar. Once the incision has healed, gentle Epsom salt soaks can reduce swelling around joints, calm muscle spasms, and soften stiffness caused by limited movement. Doctors like Dr. Mark Turner often recommend it after orthopedic surgeries, as long as the patient has medical clearance. And here's something many overlook: recovery isn't just physical, it's mental too. Healing can be stressful. Magnesium helps lower stress hormones and supports better sleep, both of which are vital for recovery. So whether you're bouncing back from a workout or regaining strength after surgery, Epsom salt soaks offer a gentle, natural boost to the healing process. Benefit number 8. Fighting infections and healing cracked heels. Cracked heels might seem like a cosmetic issue, but they're more serious than they appear. Every crack is a small opening where fungi and bacteria can slip in. For seniors, that risk is higher because skin becomes drier and thinner with age, and the immune system isn't as quick to respond. Soaking cracked heels in Epsom salt water helps in 3 ways. First, it calms inflammation, so the skin feels less sore. Second, it softens the thick, hardened layers of skin, making them easier to heal. And third, it creates conditions that are less friendly to fungi and bacteria. Fungi love warm, moist areas, especially small cracks in the heels. Epsom salt draws out excess moisture, reducing their chance to thrive. On the bacterial side, magnesium sulfate isn't as powerful as an antibiotic, but it does help suppress bacterial growth and strengthens the skin barrier. That makes it harder for infections to take hold. Dermatology research also shows that salts like Epsom can restore the skin's natural ionic balance, helping it repair itself. So, when cracked heels or minor infections are causing discomfort, an Epsom salt soak isn't just soothing, it's addressing the problem at its root. Benefit number 9. Stopping nighttime foot cramps. Few things are as disruptive as being jolted awake by a sudden foot or leg cramp. 1 second you're asleep, the next you're clutching your calf in pain. These cramps often happen because the body is low in magnesium or because electrolytes are unbalanced. As we age, the risk increases since magnesium absorption declines and circulation slows. Magnesium helps prevent cramps by stabilizing nerve signals and keeping electrolytes like calcium and potassium in balance. That's why supplementation often reduces cramp frequency. But what about Epsom salt? While the science is still developing, studies suggest that transdermal magnesium absorbed through the skin may provide modest benefits, and even beyond the magnesium, the warm water itself improves circulation, delivers oxygen and nutrients to tired muscles, and helps clear out lactic acid that can trigger spasms. Together, the heat and magnesium create the perfect recipe for cramp relief. Soaking your feet in warm Epsom salt water before bed may reduce how often cramps strike and even lessen their intensity when they do. Many seniors who add this to their evening routine report not just fewer cramps, but also deeper, more restful sleep. How to use Epsom salt correctly. Now that we've covered the benefits, let's talk about how to use Epsom salt in everyday life. The best part is, you don't need expensive spa treatments. Just warm water, a little thyme, and some Epsom salt. Forefoot or leg soaks. Fill a basin or bucket with warm water, enough to cover your feet up to the ankles or up to the knees if you're retargeting swelling or knee pain. Add about half to 1 cup, 50 to 100 grams, of Epsom salt. Stir until it dissolves. Soak for 15 to 20 minutes, then dry your skin thoroughly. For a full body bath, if you have a bathtub, fill it with warm water. Add 2 cups of Epsom salt. Soak for 15 to 20 minutes, then drink a glass of water afterward to stay hydrated. For skin exfoliation, dissolve a spoonful of Epsom salt in a small bowl of warm water. Dip a soft cloth, wring it out, and gently wipe rough areas like elbows, heels, or even your face. Always follow up with a good moisturizer to prevent dryness. Used correctly, these methods are simple, safe, and effective. Precautions. Who should be careful with Epsom salt? Before we wrap up, it's important to talk about safety. Even though Epsom salt is simple and natural, it isn't for everyone. Dr. Mark Turner reminds us that the skin is powerful. It can absorb minerals, but it can also be irritated if we're not careful. Here are the key precautions. 1. People with kidney disease. Magnesium is filtered by the kidneys. If the kidneys aren't working properly, magnesium can build up in the body, leading to dangerous side effects like irregular heartbeat or low blood pressure. For those with kidney problems, it's better to avoid Epsom salt soaks unless approved by a doctor. 2. People with diabetes or poor circulation. Many people with diabetes develop neuropathy, meaning they may not feel small cuts or burns. Hot water or salt crystals can injure the skin without being noticed. If you have diabetes, use lukewarm water. Check your feet carefully after soaking, and always dry them well. 3. People with open wounds or severe skin conditions. Small cracks in the heels are okay for soaking, but larger wounds, ulcers, or infected cuts should not be placed in salt water. This could slow healing or increase infection risk. 4. People taking certain medications. Some medications, like antibiotics or blood pressure drugs, can be affected by electrolyte changes. It's always wise to ask your doctor first, before starting regular Epsom salt baths. 5. Pregnant women and children. While Epsom salt baths are sometimes recommended during pregnancy for swelling or stress, dosage and frequency must be carefully monitored. Children's skin is thinner and more sensitive, so soaking should be brief and under supervision. Bottom line, for healthy adults, especially seniors over 60, Epsom salt soaks are generally safe when used moderately about 2 to 3 times a week. But if you have any chronic condition, always ask your healthcare provider first. Common myths about Epsom salt. Because Epsom salt has been used for centuries, many myths around it. Let's clear them up one by one. Myth 1. Epsom salt cures every disease. Truth. Epsom salt can soothe, relax, and reduce inflammation, but it isn't a cure for serious illnesses like arthritis, diabetes, or infections. It supports your body, but it doesn't replace medical treatment. Myth 2. The more salt, the better. Truth. Adding too much Epsom salt doesn't increase benefits. The skin can only absorb so much magnesium at a time. Stick with the recommended amounts, about half to 1 cup. 4-foot soaks, 2 cups for a full bath. Myth 3. Epsom salt is the same as table salt. Truth. They're completely different. Table salt is sodium chloride, while Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. One flavors food, the other relaxes muscles and reduces swelling. Don't mix them up. Myth 4. Drinking Epsom salt water helps with detox. Truth. Some people use Epsom salt as a laxative, but this should only be done under medical guidance. Drinking too much can cause diarrhea, dehydration, or even magnesium poisoning. For most seniors, external soaking is the safest choice. Myth 5. Results are instant and permanent. Truth. Relief often comes quickly, but long-term benefits require consistency. Just like exercise or healthy eating, regular use brings the best results. How to combine Epsom salt with daily habits for seniors. Dr. Mark Turner often says, Epsom salt is not magic. It works best when paired with simple, healthy habits. Here's how seniors can maximize its benefits. 1. Pair with gentle movement after a foot soak. Try light ankle circles, toe stretches, or walking slowly around the room. Warm muscles respond better to gentle movement, which further boosts circulation. 2. Stay hydrated. Magnesium helps balance fluids in the body. To prevent dehydration, always drink a glass of water after soaking. This also supports kidney function. 3. Moisturize. After soaking, salt water can sometimes dry the skin. Apply a fragrance-free moisturizer after drying your feet or legs. For cracked heels, a thick cream or petroleum jelly works best. For combine with breathing or relaxation. Soaking your feet can also be a time for mental health. Sit back, close your eyes, and practice deep breathing. Lowering stress levels reduces blood pressure and improves sleep quality. 5. Make it part of a routine. Choose a regular time for your soak, like after dinner or before bedtime. Consistency trains the body and mind to associate it with relaxation and better rest. Thank you for spending this time with us on Health 365 Day. We hope today's video gave you fresh insight into the benefits of Epsom salt for seniors. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more people who can benefit from simple, natural health tips.